Hey guys, XL here. Gonna be making a video here about the upcoming private league I'm gonna be doing that's open to everyone. I really appreciate it if you can contribute points just so we can get more character slots because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people who want to play in this private league, especially since I'm making a video about it so early. But essentially, we're gonna be doing a melee only, or like 99% of the skills are melee. Private league next Friday, April 22nd at 3 p.m. EST, which is pretty much league start time. I think maybe 1 hour off league start time. Um, so, yeah, that's the plan, and I figured I would go over the rules real quick just to give you some thoughts about why I chose some of the things I chose. It's going to be pretty similar to like the hardcore trade, melee DPS, ZDPS leagues that I think Steel did in the past. It's been a few leagues though. Um, but yeah, the league's going to be hardcore Archnemesis, so it's going to be trade league. It's basically going to be kind of GSF, not like your similar trade league. You're not going to have access to some of the giga rare items, you know. But yeah, so we're going to go over some of the rules here. Your main skill must be doing 90% of your DPS, so we're not going to have like, I don't know, a 6 link Earth Shatter and then just like a 6 link some totem and like your totem's doing half your damage or something. I don't know, something like that. Don't want that to happen. This rule kind of goes along with a similar gesture. It's more for minions though. Like we don't want minions or totems. It's just your character needs to be doing the DPS with your skill. You must be using your melee skill by the start of Act 4. This is subject to change. I'm potentially going to change it so that everybody has to use melee skills from level 1. Even if you don't get them on your class, you mule them. Just to make it a little bit more melee-esque, I guess. And yeah, trade is going to be done via the website. I mean, we're also going to have the global channel. I'm going to do global 1738. But yeah, you're going to be able to go on the trade site and see the private leagues in the drop down and then see items on there. So now we talk about some of the more notable banned skills. I entirely banned the Champion Ascendancy or Fortitude node. I had it so the Champion was banned completely, but I think that limits builds a bit too much. Where people will probably feel forced to play something like Earthshatter, Berserker, or I don't know, Slayer, Bone Shatter, or something, or maybe just Glad Shield Crush. So I wanted to leave the option open to play Champion, but you just can't click the Fortify node because we all need to suffer together. We're all not going to get Fortify on Harvest or some bosses. So yeah, that's my thinking behind leaving Champion still being open, but you can still play stuff like Facebreaker Cyclone, which is what I'm probably going to end up playing. I just won't have that, Fortitude node. And then some of the other stuff is Plague Bear to not encourage clearing your whole map with just Plague Bear. You still want to clear with like a melee skill or something. General's Cry, that should just make sense because of minions. Cast on Crit, Cast while channeling. Lightning Strike, Helix, those are the two Giga Meta melee builds, but I mean, I wouldn't really consider Lightning Strike melee nor Helix melee. They just use melee weapons, but you can like really off-screen stuff from range. The main reason they're banned though is just because they're way good. They're just way too good compared to everything else on here, at least in like a hardcore similar SSF environment. Dombla is banned for obvious reasons, and then just anything that makes it so the minions are like your main source of damage, which is kind of along the lines of Dombla. And here we go with the allowed main skills list. Most of this is just, your tip. I literally looked at a melee skill list and just went down it and just decided which things we wanted to be able to play and then which are banned. So I'm not going to read them all off, but I will talk about some of the controversial ones, which are probably Frostblades, Rage Vortex, and the Steel skills being allowed to play. So at least for Frostblades, I think Frostblades is completely fine because it's not necessarily a meta skill and it's pretty weak, and you still need to like melee mobs for your Frostblades to, go off. Like I understand that Frostblades is pretty good in softcore trade when you min-max it and you can do a fuck ton of damage, but I honestly don't see anybody doing that in a couple day private league just with basically with a like 1,000 people playing it. So I think it's perfectly fine. I don't think it's going to be like overpowered or anything. I still consider it melee. Um, Steel skills are probably going to be the most controversial, and I'm not. These are subject to change, but the main reason I'm allowing steel skills is because I don't want everyone to suffer playing like ground slam for early leveling or some other painful skill for early leveling. It's just going to be really pain, and everybody knows that early leveling is kind of the worst part of the run, and I kind of don't want that to be really bad. But maybe I'll just make it so that everybody has to be freaking ground slamming in Act One, just pure melee pain, I guess. But yeah, I mean those skills are allowed, and I also think they're also very weak end game. You're not going to be able to play some like low life champion with a steel skill and do infinite damage in hardcore. It's not. That's just not going to happen, especially without access to like really really good items. So yeah, that was my overall thinking behind that stuff. Rage Vortex is just kind of similar to to steel skills. Like also, I don't really think you're gonna get a character good enough to run a 6-link Rage Vortex as your main damage skill. I feel like it'll be like a side thing that you run on like a 4-link with Blade Storm as your main damage skill or something like that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than obvious stuff like don't play totems as your main skill. I mean, it's not super strict. It's supposed to be a league for fun. You can play totems on like as like your utility. You can play them on a 4-link. Like you just they can't be your main source of damage. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a fun league, so it's not super super serious. I mean, I'm probably not even gonna bother removing people unless you're clearly doing something that I said wasn't allowed, and you're like pushing ladder or something, and I can like clearly see it in the top 10. Other than that, it's not super serious. So yeah, just wanted to have this league for everyone to have fun, and that's it. So if you want to join, make sure you go into the description below, and I'm going to put a link to this rule sheet so you can go over the rules, and there will also be the link to the league, which you can just click. And like I said, it's first come first serve. If you'd like to put in points after you get invited, please do at least 6 to account for each person. Please do. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the Melee League. Peace.